still at the residence of Gen.Katumba Wamala, and of course we've heard about his work in the army, his challenges and achievements at the same time. But of course I'm very sure you would want to know what Gen.Katumba Wamala is like when it comes to his family, his wife and his children. How many children does he have? Well, I can't wait for you to lean onto that information. You're still watching People and Power, so keep it right there. Married since 9th May 1987, Gen.Katumba Wamala says that his wife was his childhood sweetheart from his school days before he ever even had dreams of joining the army. As an army officer, you're always worried about your family, but I'm imagining your family is usually worried about you even more. So I want us to find out, do you often prepare them? Like, for example, even in the past, when you would be going on a mission, how would you prepare them? Living a career path where, what if I don't come back?
Well, I think at some stage, earlier in our marriage, my wife used to get worried a lot. But I think later on, she resigned this to God and said, well, God will protect him. If he comes, he'll come back. And I think she kind of got conditioned. It is different with the children. The children, for example, especially when they're still young, when they're toddlers, they couldn't understand why dad is not there. Why dad cannot go with them to the beach.
Exactly.
Why daddy cannot take them to a movie. They couldn't understand that. But now, as they have grown up, I think they came to accept that that's the kind of life our daddy runs. He's never there for these. I'll tell you, like, for example, one time we were supposed to baptize our daughter. And on that very day when we were supposed to baptize the daughter, actually the night before, I had to leave for Russia for a course. And so the next day, my wife had to appear alone in church for the baptism. But these are some of the so I think over time she got used to this kind of life.
Were there moments when you would sit her down? I don't know if you do it the same way that we do it, you sit her down and say, you know what, in case I don't come back.
No. we don't give people that kind of scare.
Really?
We are always hopeful.
Even when it's a dangerous mission.
Even if it's a dangerous mission, we know we'll come back. Even we tell our soldiers, we don't train them to go on the battlefield to die. We train them to go on the battlefield to win a war. We train them to go and kill the other bad guy, not for them to be killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your children. How many do you have?
I have 5 girls and 1 boy.
5 girls and 1 boy. Oh God, of course I'll start with you being a general and having daughters. How old are they now?
No, so I have now 3 of them are out of my hands.
Okay.
Have been taken.
Are they married?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 2 left. And then 1 boy.
So what kind of men marry into the general's
The generals, ordinary
household?
people.
Really?
Yeah. I don't choose partners for my children.
Okay.
I don't. And I don't have preferences. Be it in religion, be it tribe, be it social status.
Be it even an army officer?
I don't mind. It's their choice. It's a matter between the 2 of them.
Okay. Did any of your children follow into your footsteps?
In the military?
Yes.
None.
Why?
None.
Didn't you nurture?
Well, they don't. I think maybe the kind of life they have seen me living is not the kind of life they would want to live.
Because I was expecting you to say that at least one of them is in the military.
No. They don't seem to be interested.
Really?
I think they want to have their good life, and they've seen daddy up and down, And I don't think that's the kind of life they would love to see.
But
They would love to have.
Would you say it would have been the kind of life you would have wanted for one of them?
Yeah. You see, this military, apart from even in terms of preparing the person, yourself as a person, it's a very good institution.
Okay.
It prepares you for any condition. That if you can survive in the military, you can survive anywhere. Okay. And that's for sure. If once you go through the military, you can survive anywhere. Okay. And so as a person, it's a good thing. And I would even encourage, actually I would encourage youths like you, whenever you have an opportunity to go through a military training, take it up.
Away from his army uniform that might call for intimidation, the general exudes comfort, and his pleasant character makes the surroundings around him feel like a safe haven.
Welcome back to People and Power, still at Gen.Katumba Wamala's residence. And this time around, we've changed our surroundings into his living room so that we get a feel of what he usually comes back to when he arrives at home. And of course, we couldn't do that without requesting him to change his attire away from his military uniform to, of course, your casual wear. How does it feel each time you have to come back home and remove your uniform? Do you feel like your powers have been stripped off?
Which powers? The powers are not in the uniform. The powers are, whether in uniform or not, if it's not exercising my authority, I do exercise my authority. Yeah.
To tell you the truth, me, I'm feeling much more comfortable when you are like this and like before. Do you ever go anywhere without any security detail?
Do I go anywhere without a security detail? Yeah, I go to church.
And
I don't have to have the security detail behind me in church.
Really?
Yeah.
So they don't follow you?
Religiously, every Sunday I go to church.
Okay, well that is interesting. We've taken a look at some of, the photographs of your wife, of your daughters and your son, and then I'm thinking, as a general, the strategy you use to raise them, their upbringing. Were they able to tell the difference between daddy and general, or daddy and army officer?
To them, it's daddy. They don't know the general. That when I'm at home, I'm a daddy. I'm not general.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's how they know me. They know me as daddy. Yeah, and if it's debating or if it's arguing in family, we argue as a child and daddy, and not child as and general.
So have they been able to see you in the other light, as you know?
As a commander?
Exactly.
Yeah, they have been able. They did. They saw me at some time. Some of them have actually even ventured to come to some of the areas where I was commanding. So they have seen.
What have they said about that?
I don't know. I don't know what they think, but they found it interesting. Especially, I stayed with some of them when they were still very young in one of my command positions, and those have been memories with them. Did
your daughters ever date as teenagers, like have boyfriends and those things? Would you even allow it?
Do I know? I wouldn't ask them, but they live normal life, just like any other girl, just like any other teenager.
Okay. So if you found...
But I know that they, of course, you see others, how do they get their partners?
Yeah, I know, but I'm imagining a scenario of probably maybe finding one of your daughters talking to a boy in the area and how you reacted back then.
What would I do?
What did you do?
No. I'll give this to them, that they were very, very disciplined children.
Okay.
None of them gave me trouble. Even through their school, most of them, even the big girls, they went through their school without teachers. I was never, for example, I never called at school, any of the schools, for a disciplinary action of any of my children. I never had issues whether they are they're out at wrong hours without telling me where they're going. So I think I've had a smooth kind of life with them. And they know their limits. They know what can be done and what cannot be done. But I've also tried to give them some level of freedom, not to be very restrictive, and I think that's helped.